Hello everybody, and welcome to Noodle Journey. Today I'm excited to review Paldo's Bibimmen flavor. Why am I excited? Well, I'm filming this in the middle of a ridiculous heat wave this summer, and reviewing hot noodle soup isn't exactly helping with my sweating situation. So what I have here from Paldo is a noodle product intended to be eaten cold. Yes, this is my first cold noodle review. Now, you may not have heard of Bibimmen before, and of course I am still learning about the world of noodles myself, and so I wasn't familiar with this either. This variety from Paldo is a cold noodle dish called Bibimmen, I hope I pronounced that correctly, in which the noodles are served cold with a sweet and spicy sauce. If the idea of a cold noodle dish turns you off and you still want to try this flavor, there are instructions for serving it hot on the back, and there's no law saying you can't do so. But for this review, I like to try things as authentically as possible, and so we're going with the cold preparation instructions. You can find this variety anywhere Paldo products are sold, whether that's your local Asian grocery store or your favorite online storefront. My nearest H-Mart sells this for $6.99 for a 5-pack, which is an excellent value in my opinion, assuming these are not trash. But Paldo has never let me down before, so I doubt that's going to happen. So let's see what we've got here as far as nutrition and ingredients. Sodium is fairly medium at 1,230 milligrams, or 53% of your daily allowance. Inside, and I don't know if I just got lucky, but that was probably the hardest to rip open instant noodle bag I've ever encountered. There's a block of Paldo's potato starch fortified noodles, and there's a sauce packet containing a mix of sugar, gochujang red pepper paste, soy sauce, mustard, various vegetable extracts, and apple concentrate. Yeah, you might have noticed from the package, contains apple concentrate in the sauce for a spicy, sweet, and sour flavor. I think this sounds great, and if all goes well, this should be a perfect choice for lunch on a hot day. So, let's get cooking. So you're going to want to boil 600 milliliters of water, or thereabout. It doesn't really matter, because you're going to be draining these at the end. So let's add the noodles and cook these for 3 minutes. Alright, these are done, so we're going to turn off the heat. You're going to drain these and rinse these under cold water until they're cool. Use a strainer or colander, whatever you have. Alright, so these didn't even need actually a couple minutes. Honestly, 30 seconds was enough to get them cooled off. So we're going to add them to the serving bowl. I also shook off as much excess moisture as I could from this. And now just dump the sauce in and stir. Alright, I think that's enough stirring. It looks like the sauce is pretty well mixed in. I believe these are little pieces of dried seaweed. Also, I forgot to mention on the ingredients, I believe this is vegan. Please double check for yourself, but I did not notice any animal products listed in the ingredients. So let's give this a taste. Okay, well, that's pretty cool. Paldo's noodles are always great right out of the pot. There's no broth this time for them to get soggy in. They have a really terrific chew from that additional potato starch. And to me, they feel like they're just the right thickness and hardiness that you would want for this kind of dish. They're not super thick, they're not super thin, just right for what this is. 9 out of 10 for the noodles. As promised in the package, this is a little spicy. Not a crazy amount of spicy. And I think the sweetness and the sourness really balances out the spicy flavor nicely. If you've ever had gochujang before, this shouldn't be surprising to you. It's a little shy of what I would call a medium spice. So if you can handle your average General Tso's chicken from your local Chinese place, you can handle this sweet and spicy gochujang sauce. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10 for spice. Yeah, 3 out of 10. That feels right. Most people who like spicy food should be able to tolerate this. Now the flavor. Again, as promised on the package, this is a wonderful mix of sweet, spicy, and sour. The apple and mustard really comes through. It's a little more tart than I expected, thanks to the apple juice concentrate. But everything here is really balanced very nicely. It's not overly sweet. It's not overly spicy. It's just everything in harmony. Picture a spicy applesauce. Yeah, I know, that's kind of a weird thing to say, but yeah, it kind of reminds me of a spicy applesauce. And you do get a little bit of umami kick from the little pieces of seaweed that are in here. And the neat part of this whole thing is that it's cold. So it's actually kind of refreshing, despite the fact that it is spicy. I'm really floored by this. This is good stuff. This is definitely something that could be dressed up. We'll talk about that in the final thoughts. But I can definitely see myself going back to this. So I'm not going to say that having a cold noodle dish is going to be my favorite thing every single time I want noodles, but for what it is, this is delicious, and it's definitely worth trying. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 overall. And with that, we're done with our first cold noodle product of this channel. I haven't really looked for other cold noodle products at my local stores besides this one. So if you have another favorite cold instant noodle or maybe a cold noodle hack with a hot noodle product, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. For now, I think this is a terrific option if you're craving noodles during a heat wave. The balance of sweet and spicy with that sour apple kick really just hits the right notes, and so this is something I could see myself going back to throughout this summer. If you're interested in some toppings for this to turn it into something more substantial, just search for Bibimmen naengmyeon recipes and you'll get some ideas. It looks like the most popular options are cucumber, hard-boiled egg, pear, and toasted sesame seeds. And I could see all of that going really well with this. I absolutely love cucumbers, and so that is something I'm going to try with this. Do you want me to film it as a hack? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, there's plenty more soup and stir-fry reviews coming up, so until next time, please like and subscribe if you would like to continue on this noodle journey with me.